Continuing with Universal Month for this year, I decided to take a look, since I did watch a family film related to two talking animals, let's take a look at another family film related, instead of two talking animals, let's have 8 talking animals. Now, before I move on, as I said last night that I was going to post up the Rocky and Bullwinkle film. Not Rocky and Bullwinkle film, but post a review of it. Well, the review is now available on my channel. I was going to upload last night, but unfortunately it would have took me till 4 in the morning to upload. So it's now available to watch, so go ahead and check that review out, though. But anyways, we're taking a look at current film, as I said before. We're taking a look at current film that was released in 2020. And that is Robert Downey Jr. in the reboot to Dolittle. Now, yeah, take a look at Dolittle, the reboot, which is actually more of a remake to the original Dr. Dolittle, and it's a reboot to the Eddie Murphy counterparts. I'll give a quick summary of my thoughts on the Eddie Murphy Dr. Dolittles. The first one was actually pretty good. I don't think it holds up today, and the second one was just not very good, was awful in my opinion. But anyways, Dolittle is the reboot to that character, going back to the original story. It's fine. I didn't enjoy this film, and there were a lot of things why. Just like with Rocky, The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, which was a bomb, this was a bomb as well. So both movies I reviewed were big box office bombs. I forgot to mention that in my review of Rocky and Bullwinkle that I forgot the film was a bomb. But anyways, I'll do a Goof Ups video eventually and go through a lot of my reviews that I messed up. So anyways, if you haven't heard of Dr. Dolittle, this stars Robert Downey Jr. He plays John Dolittle. He's a widower, but he's a sort of veterinarian, I think. I don't know. I think he's a veterinarian. I know in the Eddie Murphy ones he was a veterinarian. I don't think he's a veterinarian. I'm not really sure. But anyways, he loses his wife, but he's leaves society. He doesn't go back into society. So, I don't know much to say about this film. So anyways, I'm going to run down the cast because this has a lot of voice cast. So we get the likes of Robert Downey Jr., Antonio Banderas, Michael Sheen, Harry Collet is the main cast, alongside, who's not credited on the back, Jim Bropat. That's the human characters. Now we get into the voice casting. We get the likes of Emma Thompson, Rami Malek, John Cena, Kamala Nigeria, Octavia Spencer, Tom Holland, Ralph Fiennes, Selena Gomez, and Marion Cotillard. I think that's how you pronounce it. So, I forgot it says, the tagline says, he's just not a people person. So he's trying to go on this adventure. He finds an assistant that basically, I'll show you in the back of the DVD. He gets an assistant that helps him out. I don't know if we can see that right there, but yeah. He gets an assistant, though, who helps him on the way. So, I'm just going to put that down for now. So he gets an assistant. I forgot to mention the other voice cast also had Craig Robertson. He was in it as well. So anyways, he basically goes on this sort of venture. The movie kind of reminded me a little bit of Babe. The creature effects remind me a little bit of Babe, crossed with Master and Commander, which, yeah. Yeah, so I'm sorry if I did that, but so I can't really say much about it because honestly, there were a lot of problems I had with this. The big problem I have with the film is Robert Downey Jr. He tries to pull off this British accent, but it's just bad. The British accent doesn't work and doesn't really help the film that much. I thought it was going to work, but it turns out it just didn't. I don't know. I want to like it. It's fine. I don't hate the movie. There are just so many other films. Go watch Babe. Babe was another film related to animals, and that. I'll give it credits going back to the original source, which means it's going back to the 19th century during the Victorian era. So I give it sort of that. There's a lot of really good action. There's a fight with a tiger. So I'll run down the characters real quick. Who are the animal characters? We get Chi Chi, which is Remy Malek, a gorilla named Dab Dab. No, Chi Chi is the gorilla. Dab Dab, who I think is an ostrich, a polar bear named Yoshi, played by John Cena, and a parrot named Pollyanus, which is Emma Thompson. So that's just to name a few of the characters in the film. Also, one interesting thing, I picked this up on Black Friday, brand new. Unfortunately, there was bad news. I was hoping with Universal Films, I was hoping they were actually going to play the Blu-rays, but no. For some reason, Universal Blu-rays that released in 2020 or 2021 will not work without the firmware. I thought Universal was the only studio you didn't have to do firmware, but it's weird. I thought, oh, well, I'm picking some on Blu-ray. I should have grabbed the DVD. The DVD at least would play. This Blu-ray does not work with the firmware. Also, interesting fact, I bought this movie Blu-ray DVD digital copy, and turns out it was brand new, and I didn't get the digital code. I got gypped out of a digital code. So I could care less about a digital code. I don't watch digital copies. I would rather have a physical copy. So I'm just rambling because I don't really have much to say. It's just a mediocre family film. I guess little kids might like it for the cutesy animals, and they are cute. But if I would have to say my favorite animal in this film, the one I had most interest, would probably be the fox. Yeah, the fox, which is Marion Cotillon, voiced the fox. The fox was actually the best part. There are some cutesy scenes, like the little tiger cubs were kind of cute, but ultimately, it's just a fine but mediocre family film. With downside is being Robert Downey Jr. doing that British accent. It just drove me nuts. So I guess that means final verdict. Should you see this rebooted Dolittle? Not really. I was sort of let down. When I heard they were bringing this back, when I heard they're doing another Dr. Dolittle, I thought, cool, maybe this might be Breakaway. I will give it this credit. It's better than Dr. Dolittle 2, but that's not really saying much. When you have a mediocre, fine family film that I think little kids are like it. If I was 8 and saw this in theaters, I'd probably love it even more. Like I said, it reminded me of seeing Babe, a movie I did see in theaters as a child. So if I would say little kids might like this, I mean, we're talking about 4, 5, and 6. As far as the teenagers, not really. They won't really get invested. If you want to see Robert Downey Jr. try to pull off a British accent, check the film out. I would not pay the $8 like I did on Black Friday. So I kind of got gypped. I was hoping that the Blu-ray would work. But ultimately, it's just a really, I don't want to say bad. I did enjoy it. And the action scenes were great. The visual effects, the art style, the opening was great. I love the matte finish painting of the opening, which was just really, really good and really, really cool. Aside from the great scenery and great art direction, the ending just left me cold. So yeah, but if you want to check the film out, you're not really going to break the bank. You'll probably see this for like $3 out in a while. If you find this cheap, I'd probably say check it out. But honestly, I wouldn't pay that much for it though. But yeah. So that's my review of the reboot to Dolittle. If you like what you have seen, give it a like, sub if you want to see more of these kinds of videos. And since it is a double feature night, I got another movie involving animals. And let me say, it's something I haven't seen since the film was released onto DVD. See you then.